After Chetan Sharma resigned under unceremonious circumstances, the seat of the chairman of selectors was vacant. After days of speculation, former India cricketer Ajit Agarkar was appointed as the new chairman of selectors. And we hope things would change for the better and we would get more clarity on what's happening in and around the team. Well, the India's T20 squad for the West Indies tour was announced late on Wednesday night. And while the squad was on expected lines, there were quite a few things that became talking points, like Rinku Singh's non-selection after his IPL heroics, and also the Rohit Sharma Virat Kohli status is still unclear. We'll discuss all of this and more on this session on India.com Cricket Country. And to discuss it with us, we have a big panel today. We have Jaideep Ghosh joining us, who's a senior sports journalist. We have Biswajit Jha, who's an author and an ex-sports journalist. We have Utkarsh, we have Snigdha, and of course, joining us in this panel is a very special person. He's a veteran Bengal cricketer and also a World Cup winner with Virat Kohli's team in the past. He's an under 19 World Cup winner. We have with us Srivats Goswami. Thank you so much for joining us, Srivats. And okay. Just once before I get started, we'll also be having Dhriti Atri joining us in some time. So without wasting any time, let's get straight to the point. Srivats, the squad was announced last night, and while the squad was more or less on expected lines, a few things became talking points. A few players who were not selected after a good show in the IPL. Of course, we are talking about Rinku Singh over here. What do you have to say? Rinku Singh deserves a go ahead of Tilak Verma, or do you think otherwise? Shivats, opening comments.
Look, I would say Rinku Singh. I think we discussed this before a couple of times as well. Rinku Singh is someone who is the future of Indian cricket as well. But Tilak Verma has also been doing quite well for Mumbai Indians in the past as well. So for me personally, I think it was a choice between Tilak and Rinku Singh, and there was only one place left there. So the selectors thought maybe I will give Tilak Verma this series, and the next series, whenever the T20 next series, maybe Rinku Singh will get a call up. But the thing is clear that. Rinku Singh is there. He's knocking the door quite hard and fast, and I'm sure he will get a chance. For me, that is not surprising at all. For me, the surprising factor is the Indian death batting. Straight after the last batter, which has to be Akshar Patel, there is just straight away there is nobody to bat in terms of bowlers. Chahal cannot bat, Kuldeep cannot bat, Mukesh cannot bat, Arshdeep cannot bat, Avish cannot bat, Umran Malik cannot bat. That's a long lineup there. You see international cricket where it's going all 11 can bat. You
Sri
see
will
England
come to
right now.
that in some
Yeah,
time. What I want to understand is there were multiple reports that Rinku Singh is going to get selected. There were multiple reports all across cricketing
yeah.
circles. So, what does this player feel? I mean, he hits five sixes, wins you matches. You cannot even imagine that can happen. He does surreal things during this season of IPL. The guy does not get selected. What does this do to his morale?
It motivates him. To be honest, as a cricketer, it has to motivate him. It has to inspire him to do well, and he has to be ready. See, for me, when we play cricket, when we're not in the playing 11, we are well prepared. So whenever we are asked to do the duty, we are there. We are there at the war to, you know, shoot straight away. So Rinku Singh
Don't
must
you
be
think,
preparing
Sri,
himself.
he would be heartbroken? Rinku would
No,
be heartbroken? He won't.
no, I
Okay.
don't. I don't think so. He
Okay,
has to be
moving
more
on. Yeah,
motivated because
right.
he's not played for India before. We need to understand he has not played for India before. So he's someone who will be very new to the line. So there's nothing injustice in this case. It's not like Rinku Singh has played the last series, done exceedingly well, and has been dropped. So you have to understand that. I think he has to be more motivated and inspiring and prepared and ready to perform in the next series.
One, Jaideep, there were reports that Rinku Singh is making it to the side. The IPL performers would be rewarded. Rinku Singh was not rewarded. Do you agree with what Sri has to say over here? That it is absolutely okay. He'll feel more motivated and charged up to, come with a bang next time around. What does this do to the psyche of the cricketer, Jaideep?
Well, first things first, reports are just reports. I mean, they don't really mean anything because they essentially are people's observations and comments regarding what they think the team should look like. Doesn't necessarily mean that
Correct.
the board will select the said players. Yes, it is a little bit of a thing because yeah, a lot of people were assuming that Rinku would get into the squad, but as Srivats is saying, he is young in the whole exercise. He's still got a lot of cricket in him, and eventually, I mean, if he keeps at it, I mean, one would assume that he'll get into the squad someday, one way or the other. And the way things are going with Indian cricket, we can now provide, I think, practically four squads can be created for from Indian cricket. So it's never a situation where you'll be out of options. Rinku has to put his focus into his performance, as Srivats is saying quite correctly. Very astute point he also made about the lineup that we have, where after the batters, and we have batters and we have tail. We don't have any all rounders as such,
Yeah.
who will or fast bowling all rounders especially, who will come and contribute a little bit towards the end. The Rinku aspect, it's a matter of choice. It's going to be one player or the other. It's always going to be, if Rinku was selected, there'd be questions about why Tilak Verma was not selected. So it's just a matter of how things are done, and there are only X number of players you can select. You cannot select everyone, so you'll have to bite the bullet and take a decision on that any given time.
Biswajit, you have already heard Shri over here. You've also heard Jaideep over here. What could have been the logic behind picking Tilak Verma and not Rinku Singh, who is in red hot form right now? What could have been the thought process?
Yeah, yeah. The selectors could have discussed. They must have discussed about both the players. They finally decided that they should first go with
So, what
Tilak
worked in
Verma.
favor of Tilak that did not work in favor of Rinku? Anything? Can you think of anything?
No, no. I looking at the whole team. I was like I would have been tempted to take Rinku because there is no such finisher also apart from Hardik Pandya.
Very
So
good point.
Rinku Singh would have been a very good choice in this team. But again, there are some like you can't select everyone. I am also surprised to not only Rinku Singh. I am not so also surprised to not like see the exclusion of Rituraj Gaikwad who has been also doing very well and who did
Biswajit,
very
let us
well.
just stick to Rinku Singh. Let's get done with Rinku and then we'll move ahead. There are a lot of gray areas, a
Eh,
lot of problems.
No,
So,
no, Rinku Singh
Snigdha,
should have
please.
been Rinku Singh should have been there, and they have decided to go with Tilak Burma. That's a very like if you can choose between Rinku Singh and Tilak Burma, Rinku would have been a better finisher. Tilak Burma has also played.
Exactly, it's common sense. You see my top band over here, Rinku must. It's common sense, Mr. Agarkar. It's common sense. Rinku gets in. I don't find. I mean, I cannot figure out any logic why Tilak Verma adds Rinku to the side. Chalo, that's for a different day to debate.
No,
Okay, we are
the selectors must have some logic. Tilak Verma, I am not saying that the selection is wrong. Tilak Verma also deserves a chance, but Rinku Singh should have been there.
no, no, with due respect to Tilak Verma. Nobody is undermining what he has done in IPL. Uh, right.
Yes, yes,
So
yes, definitely.
right. Snigdha, she's joining us for the first time in this cricket session. She's a cricket enthusiast. She has also followed IPL quite closely this season, and she had a point to make about Rinku Singh. Snigdha, would you like to, take over and make your point?
Yes, I mean it's the same concern that we all have over here. Why Rinku Singh was not added to the team, and I'm hoping that we get a reply in the upcoming days. Like why, what was the main decision? I mean, what went into the process and everything. So just about the same that you guys are talking about.
Exactly. What went behind? Snigdha, can I just ask you to go on mute? Yes, what could have been the thought process? That is exactly what even Snigdha is trying to point over here. What is the thought that went behind, picking Tilak Verma over Rinku Singh? Dhriti, I know she's driving. I'll come to you first. Dhriti, drive safely. That is one. And can you think of any reason over here?
Firstly, I think that of course, Rinku Singh actually performed so well in the IPL, and everybody is speculating like why is that guy is not in the squad. But I believe that selector must have that in back of the head that you don't have that place where Rinku can play. Because nobody's talking about that. I mean, he's a proper finisher. Like he's a good finisher. But for in that lineup, you have Hardik Pandya, you have Sanju Samson, Akzar Patel. So whom will you replace? I mean, whom will Rinku replace? You give me
Dhriti, can
one
I
name.
make a very quick point? Dhriti, can I make a very quick point?
Sure.
with West Indies, what are you? You're not expecting anything. You will not achieve anything by even whitewashing the West Indies over there in the Caribbean. Why not give him a chance? Let him give him that environment. You can groom him. You will surely require Rinku Singh in the upcoming days. Dhoni has left. We don't have a bona fide finisher anymore. So Rinku Singh could have been
See,
groomed via
I,
this
I
series.
totally I totally agree with your point, but here you're not just you're not just managing the whole team, but here you're also looking at the captain. हार्दिक पांड्या आपके लिए फिनिश करते हैं, राइट, बीइंग अ कैप्टन. उनके लिए भी तो ये सीरीज एक सॉर्ट ऑफ इट इज सॉर्ट ऑफ एन एक्सपेरिमेंटेशन. वो भी एज अ कैप्टन आए हैं, सो आई थिंक दैट हार्दिक पांड्या को आप नहीं कर सकते. देन कम संजू सैमसन. संजू सैमसन के लिए भी दीज आर वेरी क्रूशियल मैचेस, बिकॉज उनको वैसे ही चांस नहीं मिल रहा है. ठीक है, देन यू हैव फिनिशर लाइक अक्षर पटेल जो आपको बॉलिंग और बैटिंग दोनों करके दे रहे हैं. So I believe, of course, Rinku Singh, I am backing that guy 100%,
So
that
what
that guy.
you're trying to say over here, Dhriti, is very simple, that he doesn't fit into Hardik Pandya's scheme of things at this point in time.
Yeah, at the particular point of time, that guy doesn't fit in the squad. I mean, that must probably, only that is the reason why that guy is not in the squad right now. And if we're talking about why Tilak Verma is there, then we see Tilak Verma is bit flexible. You can place him at any order, and I can predict here that Tilak, I don't see Tilak Verma in the playing squad as well, because you have Yashasvi Jaiswal opening with Shubman Gill. Then at 3 number you can see Surya Kumar Yadav, and then at 4 you can try Ishan Kishan. 5 पे आ जाते हैं हार्दिक पांड्या, and so on. So I don't think the only reason why Rinku is not in the squad can be that he cannot fix into the particular place.
Okay, agreed. That's a valid point at this point in time. Guys, it's a big panel today, so it's very impossible to come to everyone, and give everybody an equal opportunity to speak. Anybody has a point, please raise your hand. I'm going to interject then and then, ask you to speak. Utkarsh, please. Of course, Utkarsh.
सी सी आई थिंक मैं ये कहना चाहूंगा कि हमने ना फोर स्पिनर्स पिक करे हैं, अक्षर पटेल, यूसी चहल, कुलदीप यादव एम रणवी बिश्नोई. उनमें से हमें पता है कि अक्षर पटेल ऑब्वियस चॉइस है क्योंकि वो फिनिश करेंगे. आप फिर
Utkarsh, Utkarsh, Utkarsh. Let us talk about Rinku.
सी मैं वही कह रहा हूँ कि आप रवि बिश्नोई को एक्सक्लूड कर सकते थे, और उसकी जगह आप रिंकू सिंह को ऐड ऑन कर सकते थे, बिकॉज आपके पास कुलचा है, वो बहुत एक्सपीरियंस है, फिर आपके पास अक्षर पटेल भी है. तो आप उनके अलावा आप रवि बिश्नोई को तो टीम में नहीं खिला सकते. अगर आप रिंकू सिंह को रखोगे तो आप रिंकू सिंह को तिलक वर्मा के साथ भी प्लेइंग 11 में इंक्लूड कर सकते हो. तो मेरा पॉइंट यही है कि आप रवि बिश्नोई की जगह आप अगर फोर स्पिनर्स लेके जा रहे हो तो वहां थ्री स्पिनर्स लेके जाते, और रवि बिश्नोई की जगह आप रिंकू सिंह को रखते, तो आप में भी हो सकता है कि आपका टीम बैलेंस और अच्छा हो जाता, थोड़ा स्ट्रांग रहता, आपके पास एक एक्स्ट्रा फिनिशर हो जाता.
See, there are a lot of speculations. This should be in the team. See, Rituraj Gaikwad, excellent guy. It is not disclosed why he's not in the squad. Yeah, maybe he's rested, maybe he's dropped. Okay, Rinku Singh, excellent performer. He's not in the squad. Jitesh Sharma, Mohit Sharma. These are all the guys who actually raised their bars in IPL. Who actually had a yeah. Jaideep has a point.
Jaideep, please.
See, couple of things you need to understand. First of all, you are looking for an explanation. I think your explanations are already done. The BCCI does not explain. Those days are gone when you had a press conference and the chairman of selectors would come and give details regarding what's going to happen, who's been selected, why this been selected. So let's not get into that because this is the team that has been selected. Rinku Singh, yeah, a little unfair on him, but the point is that he is a very unidimensional kind of player. You need to have people who have a more rounded role. Maybe Tilak Verma doesn't have the equally the rounded role, but as Dhriti was saying, that at least he has got the flexibility to round order. And there are, these conjectures are there are no into it. There was a time when Rahul Tewatia was supposed to be the next best in every team should have had Rahul Tewatia after the 22 season or the 21 season. But where is he now? So there's every IPL you'll have 2-3 players who do well, who will be carded, backed. Some of them, Yashasvi Jaiswal is now the talk of town. So
Totally agree.
obviously he's made it to 2 spots. Maybe Tilak Varma plays for the right franchise and Rinku Singh doesn't. lot of things go into considerations here. So you
That
cannot
could be a very possible reason, Jaideep. Probably
any
you've just
number of
hit the nail on its head over here.
or there are
Possibly
30
because
reasons.
Tilak is in the right franchisee, he's made it to the squad.
There is going to see there is no end to conjectures. The point of the matter is you have to accept that there are some certain players who get into a side because of, if there's a if a equation where everybody is absolutely identical, and then one guy gets preferred before the other, then you'll have to find reasons elsewhere. Because anyway, like we were discussing, you can only take X number of players. You cannot take everyone. And Rinku has time in his favor. Hopefully, he'll cultivate more and get into the side. But I mean, there is no end to this argument. Why Rinku? Why not this? Why not that? I mean,
Yeah,
that will just go on and on and on.
Right.
yeah,
Shri, you see, this is the problem. When Chetan Sharma was there, we did not get clarity on anything. And we thought that things would change once Ajit Agarkar takes over. And we are wrong. We are wrong again. Ajit Agarkar probably is not given us any clarity at all, and it's the same template that the national selectors are following over here. For example, Rohit Sharma, Virat Kohli. I don't even know what should I say. Have they been dropped? Have they been rested? Is it the end of Rohit and Virat in T20s? I don't know what to say. What do you think? There should have been a proper explanation given. I'm sure they must have received the explanation, but we as the stakeholders of the game, don't you think we have the right to, know what is exactly happening? Sri.
no, no. I don't think so. Why do we need to know? We don't need to know everything. This is Indian cricket team. I'm sure Virat Kohli, Rohit Sharma, both are senior players, have done a lot for the country. I'm sure they have been given a message through selection itself. You get a message that maybe we're not considering you. Maybe they would have gotten called. They're such experienced player, and then for us, it is wrong to even expect a
Shri,
lot from Ajit
let us
because he's
not
just
make it
joined
sound
right
very
now.
rosy over here. Shri,
Yeah. No, no,
let
I'm
us
not.
not
I'm
make it
just.
sound.
I'm
I'll tell
not.
you
I'm not
why.
trying to sound it
Okay,
very
okay,
rosy.
okay.
Trying to put my point of view as a cricketer. Why, if something goes wrong in the Indian team, why do I need to know about it? Why does fan needs to know about every detail which is going on? It is not
Because
a.
this is India
Yeah.
and this nation
No.
breathes, lives, eats cricket.
So breathe, live, eat cricket. That's fine. You live, breathe. You swear cricketers. You give gali to the cricketers as well later on. The cricketers, they are not coming and saying, "Why are you doing that? You are the stakeholder of the game." But anyway, I am sure this message must be conveyed to Virat and Rohit, and it's quite evident that Hardik Pandya is the
And one
captain
thing
for
is
last few
pretty sure,
series.
Sri, over here, things are not very
Yeah.
good in the Indian dressing room. After Ravichandran Ashwin came out in the open and made those comments. So things are
We
not very rosy and not looking up in the Indian dressing room.
No, we don't really know much about that, so let's not try and say that. I'm not sure what's happening in the dressing room. I'm not a part of it. We are only assuming by certain comments. But Hardik Pandya has been given captaincy right now, which is quite clear. He will lead captaincy till the World Cup comes in. My only area of concern is not on an individual player, but as a whole team, where I don't see there is a lack of fast bowlers right now. Mukesh Kumar, who is a dear friend, who is a good bowler, but him getting selected in T20, then Avesh Khan, Umran Malik, surprise again. So, and the fact is, if we look beyond, there is nobody else. I mean, we cannot say now we are discussing Rinku over Tilak, right? But can we discuss
Sri,
X and
what are
Y
you
over
talking
Mukesh or
about?
something?
Mukesh Kumar, I was coming to Mukesh Kumar in some time.
Yeah,
Mukesh Kumar got picked. I mean, I don't know how, because even
yeah,
you said the other day that Mukesh is more of a red ball bowler, and that's where
correct,
his expertise lie with the red
correct.
ball. Now, what the problem is, and even you were surprised, Sri, the other day when we spoke.
Yeah,
How did
and
Mukesh make it to the ODI team?
yeah,
Right
yeah,
now, the thing is, Mohsin Khan, who's had a brilliant IPL season, and the guy has
yeah,
been doing really good, a few
hmm,
good things over the past 6 months or so. The guy does
yeah.
not get picked. Don't you
That's
think that's
one
the wrong,
name.
sending the wrong
That's
message?
Yeah, that could be. That's a wrong. That's just one name. Maybe Moshin has some injury concerns. He's had surgeries and back issues and stuff. Maybe because of that, Mukesh Kumar has been in the Indian dressing room, so they might be going with him. But like you said, look, we cannot just Moshin Khan. One name comes in our mind, but like we are discussing about Rinku Singh over Tilak Verma, tell us good three fast bowlers that we will say this should have replaced this guy. Maybe Siraj should have been there, but I think he's been rested. Shami,
Arrested.
do we go back to Shami again? In T20 cricket, we don't know. Definitely, he will be in the 50 over squad, but there is no other names coming up that this guy should definitely be there instead of this.
I feel Deepak Chahar is a decent enough T20 bowler. He was also former world number one. So yeah,
This is the
you
problem
see
with
there are a
Deepak
lot of
Chahar is
questions
every
to you
series
over
he
here.
play. The problem with Deepak Chahar is every series he plays, he gets injured the next series. So BCCI has actually invested a lot in him. He's stayed in NCA more than he stayed at home. So you cannot just take Indian cricket team for granted. He only comes becomes fit when CSK comes into play. Otherwise, that's the issue I think with Deepak Chahar.
That's a point very well made, Sri, over here. Biswajit,
Yeah.
you've heard, when we spoke of Mukesh Kumar and Mohsin Khan. Do you agree that Mohsin deserved more of a chance in T20 cricket because of his recent exploits in the IPL? What do you have to say about that? You think the selector got it wrong? And I'm talking about the chairman of selector, Ajit Agarkar, over here. Biswajit.
Actually, I will say one thing that we have not learned from last T20 World Cup. What we have made the same mistakes again and again. We have made the same mistakes as Sri pointed out that why England won that particular World Cup because they could bat till like their number 11 was a good batsman. Their number 10 was coming like Chris Oakes were coming at number 9, number.
Oops.
We so we
Yeah.
what we have seen that in T20 cricket these days you need to have this kind of not only bowling performance again you saw the same thing that we took Kuldeep Yadav and couldn't play a single match. Why? Because when we Kuldeep doesn't have that batting talent, and he doesn't fit into Indian team. So you are making the same mistakes again and again. This is the right time to groom the youngsters whom you believe will fit into the Indian scheme of things. Once we'll take our team to the next World Cup. So we are making the same mistakes. I don't know why because there are enough people they don't understand cricket. I won't say that I understand and Ajit Agarkar doesn't understand. I won't say, but it is something bizarre, something really I don't understand that the way India should to
It's
select its
common
team.
sense. Biswajit, it is common sense. I
So
mean,
why
you
don't
don't have to
why
think a lot.
now I am finding like that Jadida, I was not aware that these things can happen, but I am not privy to any kind of selection team meeting. So the thing is that if these things can happen that you have to play for this franchisee or you have to have this cloud over them. I don't know about that, but the team selection for the next ODI World Cup, we are terribly wrong. We are wrong in the sense the batting is okay. India's batting will always be good, but bowling lineup and the lower middle order batting, you have to have that lower middle order batting to win the World Cup. Otherwise, we have to. I wrote an article also to what we can learn from English team who won the T20 World Cup and dominated
Okay.
the whole tournament. So we have not learned the lesson. We have made the same mistakes. This is my concern.
Totally get your point. Totally get your point, Biswajit. Snigdha, I would like to ask you, what do you think in the upcoming days? You think BCCI they will be in a position where they will actually, give clarity on all that is happening? Do you think that may happen in the upcoming days?
I would like to add, like what Shivat had said, like not everything needs to, I mean, be explained, but we do hope that we get an explanation. So yeah, just all hoping for that, being fans.
What do you think? Yeah. Anybody wants to make a point, or I go to Triti over here? Okay, Jaydeep, please go on.
See, again, I don't think there will be any clarity. What will happen is that if the team does well, there will be no questions asked. If the team doesn't do well, then there will be a hazard questions from everybody around town, and then why X was not played, why Y was not played, including in the 15, iski jagah usko khilana tha, uski jagah isko khilana tha. This is unending in Indian cricket. There is no end to this. I don't think. I mean, the board's process is such. They'll announce the team and that's it. I mean, those days when the selector used to come and explain are gone. So let's deal with this. This is how it is going to be. You have the right to question them afterwards if the team doesn't do well. But right now, expecting again for the team, the selectors and all to go back to the squad and start explaining from the top. I don't think that's going to happen. Hasn't been happening for the last 10, 15 years. So that is something that you're really optimistic if you think that's going to happen. But then again, the thing is that you can select. I mean, there are 35, 40 players in India who can come into the India team straight away right now. What are you going to do? You cannot select play all of them. There has to be a little bit of a choice somewhere, and somebody will have to bite the bullet and wait. That is what is happening, and eventually, if the results are not good, then you can question them. Otherwise, I don't think what
Yep.
there is much scope of that.
Like always, I feel Jaideep has spoken like a true realist over here. Dhriti, yes, coming to you, Dhriti. Do you think in the upcoming days, okay, Dhriti, I think we've lost connection with her. Utkarsh, I'll ask you the same question. Do you think in the upcoming, okay, Dhriti, we have her back again. I think
So
she's
sorry, there's
driving,
a
so
network
there are
issue.
some,
Yeah, yeah, there's a
yeah,
network
also
issue.
it's raining in Delhi, so I think she's
Yeah,
having a
exactly.
problem. But I'm glad that you're back again. I would ask you the same thing, like you heard Jaideep, speak over here, and he spoke like a true realist. Do you think in the upcoming days we'll not get any clarity at all, and things will move on like it is? And once India starts winning, nobody's even bothered to speak about these things. Dhriti, what do you have to say?
See, as we all know that BCCI used to, explain things and, give a clarity and clarification back in the days when you used to play. But at this point of time, I don't think. See, we have immense talent in our country. I mean, if we look at IPL, then every team you can pinpoint two, three players which are which deserve to be in the Indian team. But making that sort of combination in the right next bilateral series, I mean, it's a bit difficult. How many players will you want, or how many players you can fit in the squad? So I think there with all these queries and questions and speculations, there are a lot of questions from different people, different perspective. There are former cricketers who are questioning, there are experts who will be. So how many questions will BCCI answer? That is
I
my
actually
question.
feel lucky, Diti. I actually feel lucky that Sanju Samsung, he has survived
Yeah,
all of this and
exactly.
he's
I
still
mean,
there.
we all are aware that Sanju Samson has massive following all over the
Everybody has
country.
their favorite. Ankit.
Yeah, and he has that
I'm
massive.
sure. Tilak Verma, what else can you say? Sri,
Yeah.
what
That's
else
what
can
I'm
So
you say?
saying. Yes, that's what I'm saying. Sorry, Riti. If you are the selector, you have your favorite. Sanju Samsung will never get dropped. My favorite
Yeah,
will
yeah.
never get dropped. So if you look at selection
Yeah,
panel,
absolutely.
if
Yeah.
yeah,
but I
see
And you
if
think
can
we
we
satisfy
accept it now.
everyone.
I mean, now it has been happening over the years. Now we need to accept it that there are particular things that are supposed to happen, and they will happen that way only. I mean, BCCI will not answer each and every question. There's certain
yeah
explanations, of course, that they need to, which are necessary about the captaincy or about the vice captain that you are appointing. But every player that BCCI will select, you think that they will explain it to you? Then I don't think that is going to happen.
yeah
Right.
that would be
Utkarsh,
one.
yeah, yes,
we
Sri.
we don't need that. We don't need that much explanations. Also, we'll anyway discuss. Even if they have given us explanations, we then would have disagreed. It's not possible in the country like India, and when you are selecting a national team, you can't please everybody. Like so, I think it is they have decided that then better not to give any explanation.
Yeah.
Right. So I think, yes, there are a few problems with the team selection, the squad that was announced yesterday. But as Sri and everybody else put it over here, I mean, nobody's actually looking for an explanation over here. Though I still feel that as stakeholders, we need an explanation. So we are differing over there. The house is divided today. But in the coming days, I'm still hopeful and I'm still optimistic that there'll be some clarity on a few things, the way ahead for the Indian cricket and all of that. Thank you for joining me in this session on India.com Cricket Country. Stay tuned with this website for all the latest across sports. Thank you so much.
Thank
Thank you.
you. Thank you.
Bye everyone. Bye.
Thank